And just like that, it is episode. Law normally gets us with the episodes. He was just in here. I don't know where he went. It was OG Law in the. I'll remove him for right now. But he normally gets us with the episodes. But it is episode. I think let's just say it's episode 15. And I don't even know if it's that, John. But
no, that sounds right.
Okay,
it's either 14 or 15, so you're not far off.
Okay. AOC, John Machota, you guys know who they are. Thank you guys for bearing with us. We had a little technical difficulties with running behind, but we are here to give you guys our immediate thoughts on signing Javonte Williams. We're here to talk to John Machota to see what's going on. We're going to get some color, obviously, from AOC. He's been doing great work over on his channel all day. So without further ado, John, what are your immediate thoughts on Javonte Williams, and then what else are you hearing in the building?
It made me think of Royce Freeman a little bit, where they'll add a veteran because they're going to try and draft someone. And it also makes me think that Rico Dowdle, that might be something that they're moving on from, just because he might have priced himself in a spot where he might be too expensive for them, because I think they would rather have Rico if they get him for $3 or $4 million. I think this Javonte Williams deal is around 3, can be worth up to 3.5. So, I mean, he's a former second-round pick. I mean, it's fine, but they've done nothing to make me think, okay, running back's settled. Now move on to another position. You still need, they still don't have who I think will be their leading rusher this season, and that's probably somebody they draft in first, second, third round.
AOC.
Oh,
I think you're muted.
You're muted, AOC.
The Cowboys did something on day one. That's I mean, hey,
wow.
I am here for that. Hey,
wow.
That's bucking a trend a little bit, ain't it? Like, we went and got an outside free agent on day one. As minuscule as it may be, it's an outside free agent, as we have the roads of Texas with Law Nation Sports.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, man, y'all, I've been waiting in the lobby area, man.
Hey, Law.
Let me get you. We were just talking about the Williams signing. So I mean, to me, I remember covering Javonte Williams in 2020, when he was at UNC. I mean, he's probably.
We saw somebody on day one, Foots. We saw somebody.
No, we
on
did.
Day one, okay?
I think that's what people. I think, but like even with that, right, AOC, like I'm with John. It doesn't really move you, like, and I think I have my thoughts on this free agency class. But I told you guys this class isn't really great. I see a lot of overpays. But anyway, for what we paid for him, he's comparable, if not a little bit better than Rico. Javonte Williams was good when he was good, but it's not going to stop you from drafting it back. It's a name on day one. Everybody put a clap in the chat box. We signed somebody.
No, real talk. We signed somebody on day one.
Who did we sign? Who did we sign?
Hey, that's how low the bar is in Dallas. Let's quit playing. We signed the running back from Denver, Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. He's a better player than Rico. I'll tell you that for sure.
Is he another? Say it with me, Royce Freeman.
I think he's a little better. I think he's a little better than Royce Freeman, but
that's exactly what John said too.
To John's point, neither one of those, him or like I don't think that highly of me personally. I don't think that highly of Rico Dowdle. Like, I think he's okay. That's part of it. When we started this show, part of the issue that I had was Rico does nothing special. You could say the same thing about Javonte Williams. They're just guys. So, but it's a name.
Hey, man, y'all not about to rain on the Cowboys fans parade today. I am here to counteract that dark cloud that's hanging over John Machota and Flips the King head. We saw somebody on day one, man.
All right,
we saw somebody on day one.
Perfect. And let me jump in.
But hey, let me ask you, John. Hey, John, is this egg smashing worthy?
No. I can't even say that. I can't.
First of all, it's not even the lead story. We're just talking about it because it just happened. The lead story, without a doubt, from today with the Cowboys is that they lost Jordan Lewis. And what are they going to do to replace him? They were already thin at corner. So I'm not really that concerned about a $3 million running back when you just lost not only one of your better defensive players, but a team leader. And I don't know how you're replacing him, because just doing your bargain bin shopping, are they going to sign a 34-year-old Stephon Gilmore back? Like, they have to do more than just draft a corner now. You have to add a veteran corner off of another team right now, whether it's through trade or whatever. But they cannot sit with what they have at corner. Don't know when Trayvon Diggs is coming back. So you have Jerron Bland and Jerron Bland. That's what you have right now.
Literally.
Let me ask you a question, John, since we jump right into it. And shout out to 300 people already in the chat box. They want to know how we feel.
Yeah, of course it's 300 already here. We were late, Foots. We were late.
That's still way.
I want to ask y'all. So we Jordan Lewis got $20 million guaranteed, John. $20 million. Do you think that Dallas was going to pay that?
I mean, it's tough to say with Dallas just because they're not really a team that really pays a lot for anybody, you know? I mean, they have their like key, 3 to 5 guys that they do, and the rest they think that they'll be able to get some type of a bargain on. The $20 million isn't really the one that gets me. I'm just kind of surprised he got 3 years. Which, I mean, with $20 million, they can void it probably after 2, and it's 2 years, $20 million. But no, I don't think they were going to pay that. I think that they would have been probably $7-8 million per year. And so that's why it was probably easy for him to go, well, this isn't even close. I don't even have a decision to make here. I got to take this Jacksonville offer, Right. But what's your plan?
Well, breaking news.
What's your plan? You better have a plan.
We got breaking news.
Well, it's gonna be bad news. But breaking news.
Well, they weren't signing him anyway, Foots.
Okay, Greenlaw.
Drake Greenlaw. Damn.
There was no way.
Okay, all right.
I mean, he's
who he going to?
I think Denver.
Yeah, Denver. It just hit.
Damn, Denver is building a golly. Hey, that defense in Denver is nasty right now.
That's crazy.
I just want to know what the backup plan was for Jordan Lewis. They had to know there was a chance they lose him. So what veteran corner are you adding? That's the thing I'm wondering.
So
we could have did that Greenlaw deal. We could have did that Greenlaw deal, bro.
Yeah,
we could have did that.
I didn't see the numbers yet.
3 years for $35 million.
3 years, 35.
You could have did that.
Yeah, for sure.
Denver Broncos was a top 10 defense last season, so he probably looked at it like I can add to that particular regime there.
He probably don't respect us either. Hell,
probably don't respect.
He was suplexing our players, Law. I mean,
that's why I wanted him. He's a dog.
That's why we wanted him. Here's the thing that I want to bring up. I think that Jordan Lewis is better than Nate Hobbs, and I just saw what he got. So if you start talking about in that market of being a slot corner, that's a weird, strange market. And that's one spot that you really don't want even a rookie to be in without veteran leadership here on this team. So this is something that we really
they're going to trade.
To.
I'm going to tell y'all the key to this. The key to this is going to be the 5th day of the league year. I'm telling you, the Trayvon Diggs thing, that's going to be the key to this. Because if they just let it ride, then we know that they sticking with Trayvon. They sticking with Trayvon. If they don't let it ride, then they are clearly trying to make an immediate fix right now. And I just don't see them losing J. Lou. I don't see them losing D-Law, probably. And matter of fact, let me bust this open for y'all. I want to hear y'all thoughts on this because this is how I'm thinking about this. The Cowboys have to do something by virtue of the fact that they restructured Dak Prescott already this offseason. You don't sit on $50 to $60 million in cap space and carry that over after doing a restructure. You would have just ate the cap hit this offseason versus doing a restructure. So them doing that restructure lets me know they're going to do something. And they didn't need to do it to get Micah done. So they're going to do something. It's just a matter of when and what is it going to be. But they're going to be certified dumbasses if they restructure Dak Prescott this offseason and then carry over all that cap without making any meaningful moves. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So you're entering a world where you just sign these guys to just basically be awful or just middle of the road. And if that's the case, you should have went into a full rebuild. I'm just being honest. Coaching staff wise.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I honestly agree with that, bro. If you're going to sit on $50 to $60 million in cap space after the Micah extension, you should have just rebuilt this thing. Seriously. Yeah. That's why I think something has to happen.
That's why I'm still, even though we lost on Greenlaw, I'm going to keep hope because here's why. If you're just gonna with this roster as it stands right now, John, it's not good enough. It's not even close to good enough. And the draft can change some things. But CD, Dak, and Javonte Williams, like those are your primary guys. I don't believe in Jalen Tolbert one iota. You could show me his film, you could show me highlights, a catch that he made against Philly. I even troll sometimes, but he's not a guy. He's not. Love you, Tolbert. He's not. You just lost Tolbert alone, man. You just lost a good piece in the J. Lou thing. Is just like that one was like a gut punch because now your defense. So are you gonna bring back McQuamu? Are you like what's the deal? And so I don't know. I'm actually at a loss for words as far as like it just feels like because you're not gonna be able to address all these things in the draft. There's virtually no way. Right. There's no way. You don't have enough picks, and they all have to hit. You didn't even hit in the first round last year. Love Tyler. I'm for Tyler Guyton, but you didn't hit in the first round last year. So you have to do something.
No, I agree. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that, John? What do you think about the angle of why restructure Dak and CD Lamb this offseason if you're not going to spend some of that money?
Right. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's why I keep saying that the trade would be the way to go because they've done it a couple years ago, right around this time of year. They did the Cooks and Gilmore trade, and they need some moves like that badly right now. You need something like that. You could do it almost those exact same type of moves at wide receiver, at corner. I heard out in Indy that the linebacker market was kind of getting high in free agency. I mean, you got to play ball if you need a linebacker. So you just running this back with Eric Kendricks because right now all you got that's healthy is Damone Clark and Maris Leofau. So you need another linebacker. That was already going to be a big need. So you're obviously not getting Greenlaw. And so you have to do something there. So that's all I can think of is maybe via trade because you're just not going to be able to fill all of this in the draft. In terms of the rebuild, I just don't think you can do that the day after you paid or the day of week one when they paid Dak Prescott. You can't really rebuild when you're giving your quarterback $60 million a year. That completely reset the whole market.
That's what I'm saying. So this whole thing doesn't make sense.
Sign him and he signed for, let's say, $50 million a year, and you're like, well, yeah, he took a little bit less. You got to take that. No, he took a deal that reset the entire market, and so you were all in on building with him at that moment. And so obviously you had already resigned CD, so they'll get the Micah deal done, and they'll sell that as that's one of their big offseason moves, even though that doesn't improve your team because he was already there, and he'll say himself he needs better players around him. So I don't know. I'll give them benefit of doubt and say they're going to figure this out and they're going to do some type of moves. But yeah, it doesn't make sense why you'd restructure all these contracts if you're not going to do something of note. You have just too many holes to fill. It's not even about like you're not even at a spot where you're like pretty solid across the board and you're looking at just improve in some areas. No, you have to fill major holes. I feel at least seven or eight.
Right. And man, the plan makes no sense. If they don't do anything this offseason, when honestly, you only have two more big players to pay. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're just looking at Tyler Smith and Deron Bland as far as guys that you need to plan for future-wise with this roster. You have this is your window to where you can start to add some pieces. Not anything huge, not a $20 million per year type of guy, but you can start to add some pieces right now in this window of opportunity. And if you don't, then everything y'all are saying makes sense. The plan makes no sense. Why sign Dak Prescott? Why re-sign Dak Prescott just to be mediocre and not make any other moves to actually try? Why do any of this at all? Why restructure these guys just to not make any moves? Like, why do any of these roster moves? Why do any of these cap moves if you're not going to do something? So I don't know, man. The Cowboys gonna do something. They cook it, man. We staying positive. I told you I was gonna be the positive reinforcement on this bug law. We staying positive.
I'm definitely positive with you, OG. It's just I will say I'm just wanting Dallas to. Here's my thoughts on it.
Right.
You can't. There's no way you go in and say, man, let's just draft and figure it out. Can't do that, man.
You can't do that.
And I'm a draft guy. You can't do that. Not with this team, bro. So maybe Cooper Kupp on Wednesday when he's released, or maybe that's the deal. That
has to be the move, bro. It has to be the move.
Something has to be in the works where it's like, but you still got to get a linebacker, AOC. You still got to get a corner of some type of depth.
They're going to get one of those Bears linebackers that Eberflus was with last year, bro. Yeah. I would look at Tremaine Edmonds or who's the other one? TJ Edwards. I would look at one of those guys, bro. One of those Bears linebackers are coming to Dallas. One of them. Because they're going to release. Have you seen all the moves the Bears have made today? Have you seen how much money the Bears have spent today? They're going to release those dudes, bro. They're going to release them.
That's fair. That's a good way of thinking of it. So here's what we are, okay? For everybody, we got 500 people in the chat. Chat is booming. Thank you guys so much.
It's 500 in here?
500
hey, y'all shaking a tail feather in that thing, ain't it? Go ahead and send some super chats too while y'all in it.
You know what? We got
if each one person sent $1, just imagine how many kids you can feed.
Let's get to the supers and we'll because it's so I know y'all late, but Machota about to break some big right.
No, I cover the Cowboys. I won't be breaking anything big.
John, we ain't doing that today. We signed somebody on day one, John. We're not doing that today.
And you lost a way bigger part, so.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest. Y'all said y'all would pay J. Lou. I'm not paying that, bro.
I wouldn't pay him $20 million.
I'm not paying no 10, bro. I'm not paying that.
How old is J. Lou?
I'm not paying
How
that,
old is J. Lou?
Outside of anybody in the Cowboy land.
Love Jordan Lewis.
He's 31, right?
Love him. But you for $10 million, you could just be about $2 to $3 million off from being able to sign a Jair Alexander later this offseason. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Fellas, how do we get excited about the Cowboys? They shop at Dollar Tree for players. Man, this is tough. Cup and Chance coming here.
Hey, man, you be a fan like everybody else, bro. I don't know what to tell you, man. you made a commitment, brother. You made a commitment.
Hey, you're not going nowhere, so stop it.
Yeah, you're not going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
Bro. So stop it.
All right, here we go.
John,
Jerry,
what's funny,
bro.
man?
Brandy Mahoney.
John ain't for the homerism today. He like, hey, man.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm fans of teams too. I get it. This is just my job though. So that's the only reason I just have different feelings about it, you know? Yeah. And also, I mean, let's be honest, it comes down to me where it's just, I'm not like, I don't know, I've been covering the team for 15 years, you know, like I've just seen too much stuff. So when people try and peddle no, this is going to be different. This is going to be different. And I'm just like, in what world? Like,
I can't wait to say I told you so, John. I can't.
Yeah, I can't wait till you do too, because it'll make my job interesting. Because it's not like I've been covering. It's not like I've been covering Washington for 15 years where you're like, well, yeah, it's 15 years, but a lot's changed in the last 2. Right. No, I've been covering the Cowboys for 15 years and not much has changed at all in 15 years. You know, this is the way that they do business, you know?
Let me ask you this, John. If they sign Cooper Kupp, does that do anything for you?
I mean, I think that's a good move. I think you should be doing stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for what they've done so far,
John, yeah. You got to tell me, would that be some type of a change for you?
Oh, no.
Come on.
I'm going to push back.
If you guys think Cooper Kupp is still, like, this is the thing. Man, these teams know way more than we do, okay? Right. And this is why I don't feel that way about Cooper Kupp. No one's trading for him. They're going out and giving good money to Devontae Adams. And this guy was your Super Bowl MVP for one of the best run organizations. And they're letting him go. And he's just going to go walk in the streets. That's why I'm saying that, yeah, if it was Cooper Kupp 4 or 5 years ago and the value was still high, then yeah, obviously that would be going out. That would be like the Amari Cooper deal. But clearly the market for Cooper Kupp is not the player that we thought he was. You know what I'm saying? So for this team, it's a good solid move, but I wouldn't put it way above like, the reason why I say it's no different, like I think it would be good for them to do. I think he would be a good number 2 wide receiver for this team. But I'm saying the reason it wouldn't be any different because it doesn't raise the bar for me any higher than it was when it was whatever it was, that 5-day stretch when they traded for Gilmore and Cooks. It's not anything crazier than that.
Well, I mean, how crazy we expecting them to get? Though, I was like, I want to ask something. How crazy we expecting them to get?
I don't know. I was told by all these people that they freed up $100 million, or they're going to free up $100 million, all these restructures, and it's going to be way different offseason. Just wait till you see Jerry this time. I'm just looking around waiting for this. Like, I don't know. Players are all going away. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. We waiting for it.
Hey, man, they signed somebody on day one, okay?
They did sign somebody.
We simmering. We
$3 million.
We turned the stove on, Law. We turned the stove on.
That doesn't count for John. But hold on, I got to say something. Time out. I can't let John get away with something he just tried to do, okay? So he just said that Cooper Kupp wasn't good enough. But why is Houston letting go of Laramie Tunsil? Or do they know something about...
You see what they got for him?
Yeah.
All those picks?
What did they get? What was the return? I didn't see it.
Hold on. It wasn't a crazy haul, John. Like they didn't get a
returns?
first. It was like they got like a second next year, a third this year. It wasn't a crazy haul, John. It was a decent haul. So what do they know about Laremy Tunsil? Because their O-line, I was about to say, and their O-line isn't great, John. So why are they moving him? Why are
they getting something? Well, if you're going to compare it to Kupp, why are they getting something for him?
No,
the Rams can't even get anything. They can't get a 7th for Cooper Kupp.
Right. John cooking right now.
We can't do apples to apples on this. There's like 5 picks involved in that trade. They can't get a 7th for Cooper Kupp.
So why do fans want Cooper Kupp then? Why do we want Cooper Kupp?
Because he's a name. Because we know who
because he's a name, Foots.
And it's better than what you have right now.
But guess what? Then they gotta. This is why.
Just keeping it a buck, man. We just trying to cling on to hope, man. We just looking for hope, y'all.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I understand that. And I agree, but if that's the case, then we don't need to be trying to get Cooper Kupp either. We need to draft, or we need to develop what we have because he must not be that great. I know, John. Trust me, I know. But my point is this: if Cooper Kupp ain't gonna answer your he's not gonna answer he's not gonna die for your sins. Like at the end of the day,
no, but he at least fills a hole. You can at least move on, and you probably don't have to give him a ton. So
we talk about names. Deebo Samuel is a name. His production is dropped. Name, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Right. Be fair. Yep. Thank you, AOC. That's a name. His production is dropped.
Something.
They got a fifth.
Doesn't that tell you? So how bad is that? How bad is that? Cooper Kupp can't even get that.
Wow.
Well, because they probably know they're gonna let him go.
Yeah, I'm saying they know he's gonna let him go, and they know they could get him for cheap. So they're like, F it. John, we're going to do this mental gymnastics today, John.
You think if there's a lot of value there that the teams that these, let's say these teams that really want him going to free agency, if they really wanted him bad enough, they'd be like, no, we'll give up a 7th. Who cares? We need to get this guy. This will be perfect. There's clearly something out on him that, hey, he's not the same player he used to be.
All right, so let me hold on, time out. Let me say this then. Let me just ask chat then. So John is making points. So who do y'all want in free agency? Because all I see is J.C. Horn. Like, who do y'all want in free agency? All I see is J.C. Horn. Who? Hold on, time out. Let me finish. Who's J.C. Horn just got completely overpaid. I love Jordan Lewis. That's an overpay. Jordan Lewis, 31, never been to a Pro Bowl. That's an overpay.
That's why I said I wouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine, but do something.
So who though? Tell me who. Tell me who's gonna come in and say takes his team over the top.
Oh, well,
I'm waiting.
You need 10 guys to do that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, John. Even everybody was saying they're going to get Myles Garrett. Nobody got Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett went back to his team.
I think the Steelers did a great job of grabbing DK Metcalf.
With no quarterback.
Yeah, they got no quarterback. That is for real.
And even with DK, and I'm going to tell y'all.
Not for real, though.
They don't have a quarterback. And even with DK, you think DK and George Pickens is going to work? Man, good luck, bro. It ain't enough footballs in that locker room to go around with them two knuckleheads. And then they win the same way. None of them are like receivers. DK stretches the field. George Pickens is a jump ball guy. George Pickens didn't even know where he was supposed to be lined up half the time. Like, those reports have came out. So again, who are we going to bring in? Please tell me who we're going to bring in. I like what Attack said. Maybe go get some linebackers for depth. I just want to know who we're going to bring. This free agent class sucked. It stinks.
It's really not that impressive.
That's why I wanted us to trade for a guy. But I guess, like you said, the free agent class, it is.
The Packers still trying to get rid of Jair Alexander, by the way. Especially since I think they just signed the corner from the Raiders. Didn't the Packers just sign somebody for like 4 years, $48 million or something? They just signed a cornerback from the Raiders, I think. And they're trying to get rid of Jair Alexander. I would take a flyer on that. You need an outside corner, bro. And Jair still played very well. He was hurt last year, but he still played very well when he was on the field. I mean, the passer rating he allowed was ridiculous, bro. So he's a press coverage corner too. He still has that ability. Yeah, he still has it. He did it with AJ Brown and did a damn good job. So I know. We Cowboys, Jair Alexander. I'm telling you, bro. Jair Alexander.
Alexander. I'll wait for him to be released before I go in and do anything. as far as the trade.
Real talk. John, do you have anything else, any interests the Cowboys may have? You hearing any whispers? Is there anything the Cowboys may be looking at? I know you like, the Cowboys ain't doing Jack Ditley. Do we have any more $3 million names they looking at, John? Like, do we have anything, John?
Let me go down to numbers 275 on the free agency list, see if we can find something down here.
Oh, brother.
No, but I mean, I would think by the end of the week, they're going to have to do something at corner. Like I said, even if it is bringing back Stephon Gilmore or like a Christian Fulton or something that, that you can get some type of where it's they like it, it just, even if it's a 1-year deal for one of these players who thought they'd get more money somewhere else and they want to do a 1-year deal, you got to do it. Corner is just that. There's too big of a hole there now. If I'm doing a 12, if I'm doing a mock draft at 12 right now, I'm probably having them taking a cornerback. That's how.
Yeah, Jade Barron or somebody like that, or Will.
That's
Johnson
how bad I think that they are at corner. Yeah. And I say that because you just need so many good corners nowadays. Like, you can find a running back.
Pay Trevon Diggs early. He was supposed to do his job, and he in Paris. Like, this goes back to those conversations. Remember, paid Trevon Diggs. He was the interception guy. Now his ass can't stay healthy. So it's like now he's a pumpkin. And so that's where that money is. We should, and this is what I'm saying, like, dog, like, it's tough because you sign these guys, Terrence Steele, Diggs early, you do these things and fans love them. Oh, until they start to fall off, till they can't play, till they're not doing their job, then nobody wants to hold them accountable. Diggs is a pumpkin. I'm just telling you.
Damn.
And so now
these are the thoughts of Foots the King.
It's definitely the thoughts of Foots the King. The problem is
he a pumpkin, bro.
Well, is he? Well, my thing is this: does anybody on this panel say Diggs is going to get better, right? Or is it the same career path?
I think we saw Diggs' peak, bro. I don't think he gets better after 2 pretty drastic knee injuries. I don't think he gets better after that.
So at the end of the day, right, we're looking at a guy who now, hey, now what? You expected him to be a guy.
Jeff Okudah is now what? How you feel about Jeff Okudah, bro?
Not great.
Not great.
No. Oh, man, we need somebody.
He
can tackle. They said they need guys who can tackle, man.
Yeah.
We needed the corners, y'all. I feel better about Jeff Okudah than I do about Andrew Booth. Why is he still on the roster? No offense, man, but why is he still on the roster right now? And y'all let Jordan Lewis go, and he taking up good air and opportunity over here on the roster, bruh. Oh, man.
John, did you hear any news or storylines about the Cowboys doing anything with Micah Parsons?
Damn, it's 800 in here?
No. And it not being done right now is a sign that it's probably going to drag on for a while. Because if you were going to get any advantages of getting it done right now, you would have done it. Like, it would be done today. It would be announced today. Why? Or in the next, I guess, in the next couple of days. I guess technically free agency hasn't started yet. It just wouldn't make sense to, if it's not done right now, then it's just going to drag out. And if it drags out long enough, then, that's the thing with that Myles Garrett contract at $40 million a year. Like, that's where the bar is at now. He's not taking less than 40, know?
Right. Kurt Bowler said we came here to cry together. He said the chat came here to cry together.
Sometimes you got to do that, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fascinated if they piece this thing together and they have like a playoff team. I can't wait to document it because it's going to be fascinating. There's been just a lot of moves over these last, couple months where I'm just like, I don't know if that's getting you closer to the goal. And then you just see that. Now, Philadelphia did lose 2 key pieces today, but then...
Yes, they did. They got weakened. They got Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, and they lost Isaiah Rodgers, one of their backup corners. They got weakened a little bit.
And Bradbury.
And they lost Slay and Jay. Hey, they got weakened a little bit, y'all.
A little weakened.
But then Washington got better. So
man, Washington ass. I ain't worried about Washington. we ain't worried about Washington. Matter of fact, if you're a Cowboys fan and you're watching right now, it's 800 of y'all in here. Subscribe to Cowboys Collective if you think Washington is ass.
There should be a lot of subscribers.
It should be a lot of subscribers coming in right now.
So here's the thing with Washington. I want to do more research to figure out why the the Houston Texans, who have a bad O-line, I was assuming that Laramie Tunsil was the best lineman on their roster. Why they're willing to give him up? You know, Lance Zierlein had a tweet that they said he was bad, and they said he was bad in the locker room.
Last year. Yeah, he was bad last year, bro.
Yeah, Lance Zierlein had a tweet and said that that it was for culture issues. So that's just interesting to me. You give away a guy who's that good. So
you may weaken the come loaders. I mean, commanders with you may weaken them. Nah, bro, I said commanders, bro. YouTube, I said commanders. You may weaken them a little bit then if you take Laramie Tunsil to the locker room. It's like a secret agent.
Yeah.
So I mean, that this is what I'll say. We still gotta wait and see. I personally, I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. I want John, this is your show because I don't have the answers. AOC, this is your show because I have all the answers. I really do. I really am like, okay, the plan to go with Shotty now is interesting because unless there's more on the way, which that's what we need to hold our hope for. Because at this point, with what you lost and like the way the season went last year, if you weren't going to be active at all and actively try to build this roster in more ways than just the draft, then there was no need to hire Brian Schottenheimer. You needed to tear the thing down. And I mean, that's even moving Dak. You need to get all the bad contracts out of here. John, we got to have a conversation, bro.
Whoa, beep, 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 beep. Bring it back a little bit.
Hold on. Time out.
Bring it back. Bring it back a little bit. Hold on. I think this is the perfect time for a Bet US. I think this is a perfect time for a Bet US ad read. Y'all be sure to check out Bet US, America's favorite sports book, to get all of your favorite games. You can bet on them no matter what type of way you want to bet on them, whether it's parlay, money line, point spread, whatever you want to do. Use promo code YouTube150 to get 150% back on your first time deposit bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposit. And always remember to bet responsibly and ignore Foots talking about Dak Prescott leaving the Cowboys.
No. So, okay, what I'm saying is this. I'm saying make the team actively better. It didn't have to be a big name or a big money. But I do agree with AOC. You could have got the Greenlaw deal done. That one is like, that's a gut punch. Because you do not have backers. I don't believe in Damone Clark. I keep it 100.
I believe in Weapon X. Weapon X gonna come back. He gonna have his adamantium claws and he gonna be I believe in Weapon X, bro.
You gotta stay healthy, man.
He gonna stay healthy. He got the healing factor. He got the healing factor. You ain't see him cutting it up on the dance floor. Yeehaw! He had the cowboy hat on.
Realistically, when do y'all see Overshown coming back?
Hey man, October.
November, October-ish. Yeah, October, November-ish. Yeah. Cause you gotta take a hit on that leg.
He ain't no running back. Hey. He's got to make sure he don't get that roll pinned up or rolled up on him.
Yeah, the running back's gonna dive at that knees to block him.
Oh man, PTSD on the field, bro.
Oh yeah. So I just want us to be right. John, is there any news of the Joneses being on vacation during this time?
Vacation. Let me see where the Bravo Eugenia is. Let me go look this up real quick on vesselfinder.com. No, I believe that they just look at it as that they're just not going to do really anything on the first couple of days of free agency. They just don't think that there's value there. They're set in their ways. Steven has said it several times over the last few years that the first couple of days of free agency that you pay okay players like they're good players like they're great players, and they don't want to do that, and that's fine. But I guess the thing that it's sound reasoning. Okay, it's hard to argue against that reasoning. It makes sense. But when you haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 29 years, and you have all these other teams that have been making these runs, and they do a little bit of everything, Detroit's invested a lot of money in a lot of different things. They lose a corner today, and then they go and sign another corner right away. And you see that with all these Eagles, Niners. I'm not just saying today. I'm saying over the last 3, 4, 5 years, Rams, all these other teams. So it's do you think that you're the smartest person in the room? That you're just smarter than all these other teams? And maybe you are, but the history now, we're pushing on 30 years of this that would make you think, all right, well, we got to change something up here. Like we got to do, hey, I'm not sitting here saying that we got to go and get Milton Williams, but maybe we do get a little aggressive and go get Greenlaw, or maybe we get a little aggressive and go after one of these other corners or something like that,
Right.
Instead of just being like, no, we'll resign our own, we'll draft well. I mean, because some of the components of it, they do very well. They don't let their good players that they draft out the building. I mean, they've been outstanding at that. But it just feels like you got to supplement that a little bit more, And I don't understand why they don't, because they're not like a low budget franchise. Like they print money. So that's the part where I've never been able to connect. It doesn't make any sense. Whereas sometimes when you see that stuff from a Detroit, Cincinnati, Cleveland, there's a party who goes, well, how much money does that franchise bring in? All this other stuff. But like, there's no reason that the Cowboys wouldn't be trying to push it out there. And if, I don't know, everything that they do, like you can question,
Well, we can absolutely win the Cap Bowl right now if we just push back on a few things. But what would be your selective, aggressive approach on this particular opening day of free agency? What would have been a selective, aggressive?
Not getting any of these guys. Bro, outside of like a Dre Greenlaw, I think Robert Spillane's contract was palatable. Man, it's maybe like 3 guys where you're looking at, you like, okay, that guy could have helped the Cowboys and the contract they signed was reasonable for the players that they are. The rest of these guys, bro, you cannot tell me y'all can't look at some of these deals and be like, hey, man, Steven was kind of right a little bit. Day one, some of these teams be wilding with some of this money they throw at these guys. Like, bro, like, look at how these corners got paid. Look at how some of these corners got paid, man. The numbers are crazy. Devontae Adams getting 23 right now is crazy.
And I don't disagree.
Horn, like
AOC, I don't disagree with you. Yeah. And I don't disagree with Steven when he says that. I guess the point I'm trying to make is every once in a while, I think you got to kind of do that. You got to kind of overpay some guy that you're like, yeah, I know.
Right, it's not going to kill you.
Fit in perfectly, because whatever fits in perfectly to whatever you're doing, it's got you 29 years without you even being in an NFC Championship game. So maybe 1 or 2 years, you got to get outside. I mean, when's the last time that they've done that?
Yeah, I respect that.
When's the last time that they've done that?
I respect that. No, you're right on that. I got you on that.
They certainly weren't at the Star when it was happening. It was Greg Hardy.
Don't bring up Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy's somewhere catching Z's in a boxing ring right now.
But it's like they don't. I just feel like there's got to be a time where, you know what? Hey, we're going to have to overpay. Like, I don't think anybody that was going to be in on Milton Williams was like, hey, there's a bunch of stupid teams in this league. We're going to get him on a deal. No, you knew you were going to have to overpay for him. There's just guys that. So other teams do it every once in a while. I'm not saying you do this as your strategy every offseason, but once in a while, you got to kind of do that, I feel like.
I feel that. Foots, can you pull up that super chat? I think that's a good conversation to have. It's relevant to the discussion we're having because that's something else we're kind of waiting on. It's from Sam.
Okay. Yeah. I got you, sir.
My man said, do we really want to pay Micah Parsons 40 plus when he stop, John? I'm not about to do what you think I'm about to do, man. Do you really want to pay Micah 40 plus when he out here wrestling sumos and petting lions? With our luck, he'll get eaten or injured right after he signs.
The reason I'm laughing is because when I first saw those pictures, the first picture I saw, I did not see a chain. And I was like, I think it was a lion. He had with some lions and tigers. And I was like, how close is he to this thing? Like, this is not, but then I saw it had a big chain around its neck. It wasn't going anywhere, but I was like, it was wild when I saw some of those pictures of that. But that's just
he in Dubai right now. Micah's in Dubai living his best life, riding camels.
I'm 100% paying Micah Parsons $40 million plus because of everything I just said. Who are they going to give it to?
Exactly.
You might as well give it to him. And
at this point, give him 50.
The best pass rushers in the game. Now, if this is a different team, and you present a plan to me where you're like, we're not going to give him $42 million, whatever. We're going to use that 42 like this and this. And then you present an interesting plan to me. I'm listening, but I haven't seen a plan like that. Yeah. So as I sit here today, you have him in the building. You'd be foolish to let him leave. You can't.
I agree with that.
I think that if the only way you can get that discount too is due to length of years of the contract, and then bank on the fact that it's going to be an 18-game year in the future. So you get a discount that way. That's how I think that the Cowboys should do with Micah Parsons' contract. Just go ahead and give him a long, lengthy contract and be done with it. If you do it early, they won't put those no trade clause on it. I think his other side would probably was like, okay, that's showing a sign of good faith. We trust each other and we can get things rolling.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I'm not here with the. Hey man, hey, I'm off the. It was fun while it lasted, but let's get for real, man. Pay Micah his money and stop playing. Pay Micah his money. Stop playing. They not spending nobody else, man. And like John said, they're not going to ever jump out of their skin and just overpay, because I agree with that. That was a very, very good point to make, because at the end of the day, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to bankrupt your organization. It's not going to set you back, 80 years if you overpay a guy a couple of $1 million on a contract one time just to show your fan base, hey, we're willing to make these type of moves to compete. So I get it. We
got 909 people in here, man.
That's awesome.
Everybody needs to subscribe, man. Y'all need to subscribe.
I just look at my own life, like things that I can control. If I was really not having success in something for 29, 30 years, I would try and do something different. And even if that meant taking a risk that could set me back down the road for a few years, well, then I'm at least taking that risk. So I knew, like, hey, I tried everything I possibly could, instead of just being like, no, this is okay. We'll just keep rolling like this. People will be interested. It'll be fine. But hey, maybe one year we'll do one of those like Washington did this past season, where you get hot at the right time, and maybe we'll get. And that's fine for Washington. You know what? And like I said, that's fine for Cincinnati and Cleveland, Detroit, and all that. But you're the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you would be just fine with like, nope, this is our plan. This is what we stick to, and this is the way it's going to be. And that's it.
Well, I think the reason why it's kind of even, because everything was charting differently with this staff. You bringing in a different staff. And maybe they're putting a lot of faith on the staff and with Shoddy, and it's like, hey, he can get more out of these players than Mike could. Who knows? He'll have a different plan. But I mean, I'm not fighting you there, John. I mean, it's baffling to me, and it's also, again, now it makes me just go back and think, okay, why bring in Shoddy if you weren't gonna do anything? But maybe they will, and maybe they're going to. And I never thought we'd be players on day one, but it's now you're losing, like just the loss of J. Lou. But again, I can't talk about out of both sides of my neck, because I wouldn't pay Jordan Lewis $20 million guaranteed. He's a good player. He's not a, and then you just got burned doing something like that, overpaying. I think that I just can't stress this enough. I started off this when we started the Cowboys Club. I said corner was going to be a need this year.
You did say, and I hated the idea at the time. I gotta admit, I hated that idea. But now, as things have progressed, I do a
great job of trying to think forward, because even with Kalen Carson, he's tweeting today. Here they go on Twitter, whatever. But it's like,
he tweeted.
He said something about,
he need to be watching tape.
Yeah, and I think all these guys are so entitled, or they just think they're supposed to be given something. But like, I don't feel comfortable with Kalen Carson anywhere on the field. I don't feel comfortable with him in the slot. I don't feel comfortable with him on the edge. I want to see what Izzy looks like in the nickel, big nickel, because he'll tackle. He at least has played in big games. In that San Fran game years ago, Izzy was a demon out there, and if for some reason just couldn't get back on the field. So those are some of the things to me that I'm like, okay. But now the problem that I have is, are you going to set this staff up to fail?
That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing due diligence if you do them like that. That is cold-blooded, bro, because making them go into next season with not only the same roster but less pieces off of that same roster, important pieces, Jordan Lewis, no doubt. Last week we were just asking John who was the veteran leadership on the team, and Jordan Lewis was one of the only people we could think about as far as the defensive side of the ball. So it's like, y'all have to do something just by virtue of losing that. It's like, y'all don't feel that pressure. Y'all don't feel the pressure to fill that void. They have to feel that, man. They have to. But on a serious note, I was halfway playing a little bit, but when's the last time we made a move on day one for an outside free agent? Seriously, though. I know it's just Javonte Williams. I'm not trying to overstate or anything, but I am legitimately asking. Can y'all remember from the top of your head, did they do that last season or the season before? Like, when was the last time they did that?
I believe it was the last time.
I don't know. I mean, I know somebody said something about it was a tweet about Greg
I know somebody
Hardy
in the chat. It's almost 1,000 of y'all in the chat, so y'all got to. If it was Greg Hardy, if the last time the Dallas Cowboys made a move for any outside free agent on day one, I'm not talking about long snapper.
I don't even think they did. I don't even think Hardy was a day one guy.
But think about let's talk about Greg Hardy. He was a complete disaster. Awful. Fighting on the sideline. It was trash. I remember that very well.
But he tried though. He was a dog coming from Carolina though. So remember, people were excited about that.
I think he sat out, if I'm not mistaken, or was coming off suspension. AOC.
Yeah, he was.
But he was still a dog before he got suspended though. He just came back
and then he got here and he was again a pumpkin. Yeah. Like
he had 6 sacks that season, and I think we still had top 10 defense. I believe we finished out that year in third and rushing. It's just 2015 we had no quarterback.
Is that the year Romo got hurt?
Yeah, Romo got hurt.
So anybody in the chat said
the year they played strong ball with Dez Bryant too, and Dez Bryant was fighting for his contract. You see, they didn't make it about football.
See, the fact that that's what I'm saying. I understand. But the fact that we can't even name anybody off the top of our head the last time they signed somebody on day one free agents is one, sad. But two, if you're looking at it in a vacuum just for the right now, that's something you could kind of be like, okay, let's see what they're going to do. Not to be excited about anything, but it can kind of bide you a little bit of time because it is breaking a norm. It's breaking a trend. So it's like, okay, if they broke this trend, let's see if this is leading to something else because now Rico's going to go.
Here's my issue too.
What?
When are, because you said that it made me think of something I talk about with my friends quite a bit is when are the Cowboys on the front end of a trend? I always feel like they're following something, you know, that they're never like, whether it be the coaching staff or the way that the team's designed or whatever, like, you never feel like they're doing something where you're like, oh, they're on the front end of that. I mean, they've had a lot of success, obviously, finding quarterbacks as undrafted free agent Romo and then Dak in the 4th round. I mean, that's obviously, they deserve a lot of credit for that because that's very hard to do. But outside of that, man, there's just not a lot of things that they do. But what were you going to say, Law?
Yeah, they trended the ideology of the long contract. Remember Tyron Smith's first contract?
Yeah,
long contract.
Oh, that's a good one, Law. Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's exactly what the Chiefs did for Pat Mahomes, and I think that they tried.
That's what the Bills just did with Josh Allen.
It was like, no, they want to get back in front of the money, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that they were the ones that started that trend of paying your guys 6 and 7 years or what have you, and putting all of those accelerators.
But I'm more so talking about trends for just the cat, not even league-wide trends, but I'm talking about trends for how the Joneses do business.
So
right.
Go ahead. No, you got it, AOC. So I was just gonna say, like, I'll never forget, man. I got beat up on Twitter. John, we've been friends for a while. Maybe you remember this. When I was very adamant about drafting a back the year that Spears, Gibbs, and Bijan went, I said, man, hey, that's probably when you need to try to get. I don't know if you were in the space at that time, AOC.
Nope.
But I was arguing with people back and forth, and now everybody's on a running back. And listen, one thing about it is when you live in this space, you gotta make takes. You gotta have takes. So I saw people in there. Oh, Fush, you said Kalen Carson should have been the third. I had him great as a 3rd round pick. He got to the Cowboys and the speed of the game was too much. I mean, hell, we all thought Kelvin Joseph would be a great player. He got to the Cowboys and he wanted to keep his rap career. We can't make these guys. We just got to call it like we see it. But I'll never forget saying that the Cowboys should at least try to get Tajay Spears, even when they had Pollard and they were going to put all their eggs into that basket, because I knew that you needed to have more than one back, number one, and at the running back, I didn't like this whole the running back was out of vogue because it's all about football is ebbs and flows. And I'm telling you, the game trickles up. So like just thinking like, oh yeah, you just don't need to run the ball. You just throw the ball all over the yard. Yeah, for a while. And now defenses have gotten faster. Linebackers are lighter. Now you need to run the ball. And we don't have a running back. Like, I don't think Rico is a back that's just like a needle mover. First of all, he's had his best year, and at 27 or 26, whatever he is, man, he's not a needle mover. Good player. Didn't have a run past 10 yards, 30 yards, whatever it is. I'm done. So stop with the Rico stuff. Everybody in the chat, Rico's just okay. Like, we're not gonna do that.
Foots had to get it off his chest, man.
Everybody tell me Rico.
My favorite one in the chat right now is Vincent Johnson saying, y'all acting like we have a game next week. Chill out. No, it's not about if you were new to the Cowboys and you're a first year fan, by all means, I get that. But It's the fact that you're just seeing things that you've seen year after year after year after year, and it beats you down to where you're like, I can't be phony. I got to only be true to like what I see and what I believe in. So I'm not a fan, but I get how fans feel that way, but I can't be that way. I'm gonna
speak from a fan. Brother, I've also been watching the Cowboys, and that's why I asked everyone that question, man, because it's like, okay, I get it. They're not trendsetters. Screw the rest of the league. I'm looking at the Joneses in the vacuum. I'm looking at, and that's what I've been doing all offseason, just looking at what's different. Is there anything different at all that they're saying, doing, how they're moving? And from the press conference to now Jerry wasn't taking interviews to now they're signing guys on day one. It's like, those are things that are slightly different. And it's just like, as a fan.
You have such a low bar. It's impressive.
Because you've been talking about how we've been tormented this whole time, and you confused about my low ass bar, John. My bar is on the floor, John.
I wish you would have been my high school. I wish you would have been one of my high school teachers, man. I wish you were grading my papers.
I would have had you. I would have had you on an A honor roll, brother. I promise you.
Oh, I mean,
promise you.
By the bar that you have set, wouldn't have to do any work as long as I just showed up. And I was there for attendance, I'd get an A.
If your kid can't crawl, why are you expecting him to run
1,000, baby? We hit 1,000.
Oh,
wow! Come on with it. I wish I had my soundboard.
That's a move. Hey,
where are you, Law?
Y'all?
I'm in my office.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like my office.
I look like he about to go on the Wendy Williams show.
Remember? Yeah.
Man, hey, I'm trying to keep. I'm just Cowboys fans. I'm not trying to lie to y'all. I'm not trying to tell y'all they're about to make these Super Bowl winning moves. But what I am saying is, damn it, when we've been abused for as long as we have been, when you get that little bit of daylight and you like, okay, at least it's a little bit. Then you got to take the small victories. We all have signed our lives away to Jera. We've signed our lives away. So we got to find the daylight in the darkness when we can. Unless you just gonna make the conscious decision to stop being a fan, it's like, why not celebrate the small victories when they come, bro? Why not? Why still be mad when they do something, even if it's a little bit different? Why still be mad? So like, I'm not about to spend my life like that, Foots. I want to be happy, Foots.
I'm with AOC. What I try to do, AOC, is I do not want to be mad. I'm with dog. Like at the end of the day, I'm okay with this Javonte Williams signing. You know why? Because I do think he's a better player than Rico Dowdle. Like I don't and I don't think that I'm not breaking news there. Rico's not that good, y'all. It's just like when we had Darren McFadden. It's the same type of player. So
hey, Rico cousin, I know you watching. Hey, it's Foots the king.
Not long talking about the extension.
Yeah,
come on with it.
Yeah, not real.
He got mad at you about that law. I'm pretty like these. Don't even get me. But anyway. So I think that's the sneaky one. Now, what you need to do is, I would be okay at the Cowboys.
Hold on. Sam Jack, I'm not a new Cowboys fan. I'm a grown-ass man with a kid, a wife, bills, stress, and have lived in America my whole damn life. I don't want to sit there and make my pastime miserable just because I want to be pissed off about some shit I can't control. What is wrong with y'all, bro? You must be a new Cowboys fan. Motherfucker, are you serious? All right, my bad. Go ahead, please.
Hey, this show, I love when AOC does those because at the end of the day, you getting real raw.
Hey, my therapist said, blow some bubbles, man.
You getting raw. Because I'm gonna be honest, the rawness y'all getting from me is I am confused by the front office, but AOC laid it out. They haven't been players on the first day, and at the end of the day, y'all don't want to hear this. You drafted CD. You paid CD. You drafted Dak. You paid Dak. You got to pay Tyler Smith. You're going to have to pay Micah for sure. Are they going to pay Ghost? And are they going to pay a few other guys? So they have historically drafted well. Now, the last two drafts have been lollipops, but they have historically drafted well. So they are paying those guys. And let's okay. This is what I want everybody to do in the chat. And everybody, I don't know how well you all follow the league. Who got better that we can say they are for sure a lock right now? And everybody's going to say the Commanders, their defense stinks. Awful. Trash.
Well, they got Jamal Hargrave.
Trash. No, they got Kinlaw.
Kinlaw, my bad.
Who got better? Somebody tell me who got better today. with the moves they made.
I think the Steelers wide receiver room got better, but I don't think that they got no quarterback. So it's like they got to find a quarterback. I think realistically, the Denver Broncos, they got such a tall hill to climb in that division. They gotten better. And I'm surprised their first year with Bo Nix, they did what they did last year. So I'm thinking that they're trying to build upon what they did last season. So I think that the Detroit Lions stayed the same.
I see Patriots. I see Bears.
Pats might be the one, but the Pats were so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, bro. They picking like number 2 or 3 overall for
and $120 million to spend. So yeah,
I was just about to say, and that's what I'm getting at, Law. They're not paying anybody. They're not paying a quarterback. They're not paying their own because they've been sorry. Waffled on and whiffed on Mac Jones, whiffed on a few of their picks. Who are the Pats paying? Their roster's awful, terrible.
I like the quarterback from last year, the rookie.
I like Drake May. I love Drake May. But I'm just saying they're not paying him.
Oh, yeah,
when you start paying some of these guys, like, trust me, it looks different. You have to draft better. And again, AOC, you made the point about Philly. Philly's defense is not going to look the same. Just so we're clear.
Right? And Brandon Graham retiring too, by the way. So it's not even. Remember, he said he was retiring after the season, so they lost that too. So Philly lost pieces.
I think the Raiders getting better too, though.
That was ass.
You say the Bears?
Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah, but the Bears did too. But no, I mean, Washington has definitely gotten better. I mean, adding Tunsil and making that move for Deebo Samuel, that team's better than they were.
Wait. We're being very irresponsible, y'all. Hold on. We can't sit here and act like free agency and winning free agency is end all be all when people was predicting the Bears to go to the Super Bowl last season after their free agency.
They were. That is a fact.
And they missed the playoffs.
When they
absolutely won the free agency.
When they signed Keenan Allen, everybody, look at what they're going to be able to do with Caleb. Look at the weapons. Oh, they got Rome Odunze.
I remember everybody saying Super Bowl.
Maybe not Super Bowl, but they definitely
Nick Wright
were.
was on national television, picked them to go to the Super Bowl. What are we talking about? Hold on,
exactly. Man. Who are you talking about? Who
gives a fuck what
he's
on national TV, John.
Who gives a fuck?
I like that. John, I like that.
There you go, John. Yeah.
The dude has bad take after bad take, and now he's on TV. Whoa.
Spicy John is here.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, I don't see it rubbing off on John.
I think what we did.
Man, that was real. John, you know what, John? That was so real. I'll shut the hell up. Let me sit my black ass over here, man. I mean, shut up.
You guys, please don't think that just because people are on TV that they're experts in these things. There's a lot of actors on TV. I mean, you guys got to understand this. I mean, I hope that this is not news to people. I hope that you guys can see through most of the stuff that you see on TV. I mean,
it's preaching.
So what we have to do is, if we come back a week from now and nothing else has been done, then there's cause for real concern to me, John, to me, AOC. But I think that you can't. There's no way you go into this year with Kalen Carson on the edge. And I want Kalen Carson to be well. I want him to be, good. I do. I think we all do. But because who's playing corner, John? You can't say, even whoever you draft, we don't know if they'll be ready to play on the edge game one. What if it's Philly and Dallas game? When you ready to go guard A.J. Brown? Come on, man. It's different.
You know? I think that if you drafted a corner in the first or second round, you can get one of those guys that you'd feel decent about them starting. But yeah, after that, I probably wouldn't feel great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. This the most people we got, and we had a loss for words. I think we all trying to figure this out. Right? How about that, Law? We had a loss for words.
Ain't no loss for words. Cowboys fans, y'all better stay proud. Stay positive. Washington had one good season after 20 years of being stuck in the gulag, and they walking around with their chest pumped out, proud as can be. You better be proud too, Cowboys fans. Don't let nobody steal your joy during this offseason, because right now, all 32 fan bases think they winning the Super Bowl. So don't be the one fan base that's trying to keep it real and be realistic when nobody else is. Be unrealistic with everyone else and be a fan.
To be fair, you would be feeling pretty good if you're a Washington fan and the
Fuck
ownership
Washington!
and the ownership changed the way that it did. That's that they have a lot to be excited about. Just moving away from the previous ownership group they had. It's way bigger than just even on the field. I mean, they were in a bad spot.
Magic Johnson is about to infect that organization.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He didn't just say that. We gonna end the show, y'all. We're done. He did not just do that. He didn't just say that, y'all.
Y'all didn't let me finish.
I gotta go work. I got work to do.
I say he's gonna infect it with failure. I was about to say he's gonna infect it with failure. The same way he did the Lakers when he was there. That's what I was gonna say.
Let's put a cap on this. This has been a great show. This has been a different show. We got a super, and let's put a cap on this. I want to say this, okay? Let's get to this super. And then John, we got John cursing, y'all. Can we clap for John cursing? Only AOC can get John to curse.
AOC.
Listen, I don't know. AOC been live.
Mad at me, dog.
My man been live, John, since 8 this morning. Bro, y'all need to get some rest. Y'all sleep deprived. That's why we so cranky. All right, the thing that hurts is seeing the team in I guess you meant in our conference win a Super Bowl and we not looking to compete. I agree.
Man, I'm done crying for the stream, man. Hey, all 1,000 of y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for the $5, my brother. Try it again with a more positive comment next time. And we'll see y'all on the next one, man.
So I ain't gonna lie. I do want to stay positive. Like I'm kind of with AOC. Like I'm just tired of because I mean, like, what if something does happen? What if they sign a few more people? What did they do, John?
I'm gonna show my ass on social media. Follow Attack on Cowboys on all platforms. I'm gonna show my ass if they do anything. I promise you. Not Law, you know damn well I wasn't meaning for.
What did they have John, before we go? Let me get y'all on record. What if they do get a Gilmore type deal? You already signed Williams and they bring in Cup. Would y'all be okay with that?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, and I'm just saying I think that's what they should be doing, something like that. There's just too many. If they had to fill 3 or 4 spots, I'd feel differently. I'd be like, hey, they can do some in the draft. There's gonna be some mixing and matching. They just have so many areas that they have to fix that I feel like they have to do something like that to fill at least 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them before you go into the draft.
Okay. All right. This is what we'll do. We'll table this conversation. 900 people. What an amazing show. And we'll come back next week. John has to get to work. I got to get to work.
And only 200 of y'all gonna be here next week. Y'all try.
Yeah, and we all gotta go talk about Javonte Williams, and that's what we do. We love y'all so much. Cowboys Collective, we out. Peace. Peace.